What if everything you thought you knew about Tupac's murder was a lie? New explosive court files just dropped, tying Diddy to a $1 million bounty, exposing Suge Knight's dark setup, and raising the ultimate question, is Pac actually still alive?
Which of those four is it when you talked to him about murdering Tupac?
It was really about both of them, either one. It was
Tupac and Suge, you mean?
Yeah.
Behind all of this is Puffy. You've said this yourself with $1 million, whether it was $1 million, whether it was $500,000. Tell us a little bit about that.
A massive update just broke into Tupac Shakur murder trial, exposing deep ties to Suge Knight and Diddy. Suge was officially summoned to testify about the night his supposed best friend was taken down in a 1996 Las Vegas drive-by. But the former Death Row CEO refused, warning, "This trial has nothing to do with me, and if someone drags me in, it's going to hurt whoever brings me there. I promise you." His chilling statement proves this situation runs way deeper into music industry street ties than anyone imagines.
Yeah, I hate that happened, dog. You know, I really do, man. Because it took a lot of people's lives, dude. Hate that happen. Promise to God. I feel that was wrong, man. It was just wrong, purely wrong. You know what I'm saying? I wish it had never happened. You know what I'm saying? That's my opinion. It never happened, dude.
Kefe D, the man currently behind bars for the hit, spilled everything to the police. He claims the entire hit was ordered by Diddy himself, revealing a massive web of industry players involved that will finally be dragged into the light during the trial. Tweeted by XXL. Breaking. Kefe D claims in newly released police interrogation tapes that Diddy ordered the 1996 hit on Tupac Shakur.
Right. Charged in one of the most notorious cold cases in modern American history, and this morning, the man known as Kefe D is breaking his silence from behind bars.
Nearly 30 years ago, became one of the nation's most notorious unsolved.
Hey, Keith, Metro Police, come over here.
Then in 2023, a breakthrough when prosecutors charged this man with ordering the hit, the only person arrested for Shakur's, who now tells ABC News authorities have the wrong man.
I'm innocent.
This massive revelation triggered a swift reaction from 50 Cent, who didn't hold back in exposing exactly who he believes is responsible for Pac's passing. Tweeted by 50 Cent. "I told y'all, Diddy got some explaining to do. Y'all thought I was playing. Now look at the news."
I hate when they leave me to talk because I always say the wrong thing. I always say, last time they left me, I said something about Puffy. So that thing. Yeah! I gotta stop doing that. I've been talking to a therapist to try to help me with the I'm saying. I said crazy for no reason. Oh wait, maybe I said it to my boyfriend because he got Tupac killed.
While investigators pile up evidence against Diddy, we have to look at Suge Knight's motives first. Tupac was right at the end of his record contract when he passed. Insiders claim Suge couldn't afford to let his biggest cash cow leave, especially since he was allegedly draining Pac's earnings. Even Tupac's biological father admitted that if he had been a better father, Pac would still be here today because he never would have trusted Suge.
With Suge Knight. Right. This motherfucker, I feel so bad. I gotta live the rest of my life realizing that maybe if I was a better father, he might not have gotten that situation. He might have had enough wisdom to know that this motherfucker nothing but a scoundrel. But he looked up to him like a father. Then to find out a year, 8 months later, that he's cheating him out of all of his money, that's the final betrayal.
Because Tupac passed before finishing his contract, Death Row Records cashed in massively off his unreleased catalog, profiting far more than they ever would have if he survived to finish his last two songs. Suge's name appears repeatedly in the newly unsealed documents, and his night of behavior remains suspicious. Even Rap Insider Whack 100 publicly questioned why Suge left Tupac with zero security on the night they were targeted.
First of all, you seen what happened. Suge understands who he's dealing with, or what that just happened with, right?
Yeah.
I would have off the top shut my artist down. And if I would have shut him down, I would have moved him in a way to where could nobody get to him. Suge, you know what you doing, don't do. Like, it ain't no security on it.
This was only the tip of the iceberg. Diddy's name appears a shocking 77 times in the newly filed court documents. Reports suggest intense jealousy pushed Diddy over the edge after Tupac was photographed with Sarah Chapman, Diddy's dream girl, back in November 1995. Shortly after, Tupac was ambushed at a Quad Studios in New York an attack many believe was Diddy's first failed attempt. Yet police oddly never fully investigated it.
I believe so. I do believe so. I have proved things that I could say that will back up my claim, but this is not for the world to know about. You know what I mean? It's between me and him, and only he knows. So every time he say it didn't happen, or that's the only thing that makes this become an issue to everybody. I was acting. Who gets shot 5 times in acts? Oh, I didn't get shot 5 times in their vision. I only got shot once because they found the bug. The police found it, but now they the cops. Now they doing detective work.
50 Cent stepped up again, claiming even more unreleased footage that Netflix cut from their documentary is heading to YouTube, including details on how Diddy built a family with Pac's former flame. Tweeted by a Hip Hop DX. 50 Cent promises unreleased footage linking Diddy to Tupac's ex-girlfriend Sarah Chapman will drop on YouTube soon.
Tupac was a shining example of everything that Diddy wanted to be, and he was that naturally. He was charismatic, he was sought after, desired, he was very well liked and a naturally likable person. He was charming, he actually had intrinsic talent, he was a star. He was what Diddy tried to force his way into becoming. Diddy, through force, through manipulation, through fear-mongering, tried to become loved and adored and liked, but all he could manage is like a twisted clone of that he was able to garner through fear. But back to my original point, he thought he triumphed over Tupac by when actually what he did was make Tupac immortal. And by Diddy continuing to live and earn more wealth and, in his mind, earn more adoration, he thought he triumphed. He thought he won overall.
With his first attempt of failure, Diddy reportedly took extreme measures in Las Vegas. A former officer claims Diddy put a $1 million hit on Tupac, hiring Kefe D to organize the hit squad. After 2 decades of silence, Kefe D himself exposed that Diddy met with him multiple times to personally mastermind the assassination.
On all 4 of those occasions, there's San Diego, Anaheim, Irvine, and Vegas. Which ones do you actually talk to Puffy at?
Every one.
Every one of them. Which of those 4 is it when you talk to him about Tupac?
It was really about both of them, either one. It was
Tupac and Suge, you mean?
Yeah,
While other industry figures were blamed for years, new evidence shows Suge and Diddy actively planted false tracks to set up rivals. To understand how it all went down, we have to relive the night of Tupac's passing. Because on September 7th, 1996, Tupac was in Vegas with Suge Knight to attend a Mike Tyson match.
Suge Knight and their entourage went to the Mike Tyson at the MGM Grand. Kefe D and his nephew, Orlando Lane Anderson, and 2 of their friends were also there. Kefe D told LAPD Detective Greg Kading more than a decade ago, in a proffer that couldn't be used against him, the shooting was retaliation after Tupac jumped Orlando and up at the casino. Surveillance cameras recorded the fight. Tupac was angry that Lane had stolen his necklace years prior in Compton. Tupac, Suge Knight, and the entourage left the casino quickly.
After a lobby brawl with an op at the MGM Grand, security cleared the floor. Hours later, after changing clothes, Pac and Suge climbed into a black BMW, heading toward a nightclub, completely unaware they were driving straight into a trap.
Knew about Tupac's concert at the Club 662. Members, including Orlando and Kefe D, jumped in their white Cadillac and started cruising the strip looking for the offender. Before long, they finally spotted Tupac's caravan. At the intersection of East Flamingo Boulevard and Koval Lane, the white Cadillac pulled alongside the black BMW with Suge on the driver and Tupac on the passenger seats. The back window of the Cadillac rolled twice in the chest, once in the arm, once in the thigh.
The strangest detail? Police suspected Kefe D that very night. They even interrogated him immediately after the drive-by, but inexplicably let the lead cold for almost 30 years without any follow-up.
Lane starts. You say Suge looks over, he sees you. He looks right at you.
Yeah, he looks at me.
Okay. When he looks over at you, and then Tupac's busy getting. Evidently, the story is Tupac's trying to either get out of the
back seat or something.
Yeah. What do you see happening inside of their car?
I seen him going Suge head. I thought he was.
So Orlando across Dre.
He leaned over on the window. We rolled down the window.
Kefe D walked free for nearly 3 decades, until he casually jumped on a podcast interview and admitted his crew pulled up on Tupac's car that night.
And Bubble Up was a driver, and Baby Lane and Freaky were in the back seat.
We was just all in the car together. Just say that.
This was the white Cadillac.
Yeah.
So you guys are driving around, and then you hear these girls say, "Tupac, Tupac."
Got to the light. He was supposed to go drink, and he happened to be hanging out the window. He was hanging out the window like he was in a parade.
Tupac.
Yeah, he was.
So what happens next? You said that as you're driving up towards the BMW, with Suge driving and Tupac in the passenger seat.
In that same sit-down, Kefe D claimed they opened fire only because they saw Tupac reaching for a firearm inside the BMW first.
You said that as you're driving up towards the BMW, with Suge driving and Tupac in the passenger seat, and you said that Tupac pulled out a...
It looked like he was reaching, yeah. Yeah, it did.
Okay.
Yeah.
Did you actually...
No, once he got the reaching, I got the ducking.
So someone from your car...
That's what happened.
...started at Tupac and Suge.
Detective Russell Poole suspected Suge Knight set up the hit to stop Pac from leaving death row, then intentionally framed the rival Crips and Snoop Dogg to throw off detectives. Snoop himself admitted he was scheduled to be in that car, but backed out last minute.
Because he died because all these guys sold him this lifestyle idea, but he wasn't it. He couldn't fight. He had no athleticism. He didn't know how to shoot. He wasn't that guy, but he started to believe it.
He method acted it.
100% method acted it.
Snoop narrowly escaped death that night, primarily because he and Tupac had gotten into a heated argument just days before the Las Vegas trip.
With Tupac, though, in regards to Tupac, I heard a story, did you give him different advice that night on where to go?
I didn't give him no advice.
Right.
We wasn't seeing eye to eye.
Right.
So.
Saying during the Tyson.
Yeah, this incident that I'm explaining to you right now was the day before that.
Okay.
So when they got to Vegas, they went their way, I went back. I mean, when we got to LA.
Suge and Diddy's framing job was so convincing that fans are still debating it today. The newly unsealed files sparked intense reactions across social media, including sharp commentary from actor Faison Love. Tweeted by @RapCaviar. Viral reaction questions whether Snoop Dogg could have intervened prior to the 1996 Las Vegas shooting following newly unsealed files.
The last time me and Tupac was on the same page, and I did an interview with Angie Martinez, and she asked me, how did I feel about Puffy and Biggie? And I told her that I liked their music and I want to do music with them. Bro didn't like that, Tupac didn't like that, so we had a misunderstanding. So on the flight back to LA, I didn't feel comfortable around them for what they had did, as far as I didn't let my security ride with me. So to protect myself and to, prevent from happening, I slept under a blanket with the knife and the fork just in case something was to go wrong, but it didn't.
With Snoop deeply connected to street networks back then, some believe he received an advance warning about the Vegas hit, causing him to stay away. Snoop confirmed Tupac harbored heavy resentment toward him after their fight.
I always felt when Pac died, it was because Snoop could have stopped that whole thing. I mean, because like I said, Snoop was a Crip. Pac offended some Crips. Doing some game, some dumb, really. It was set off a whole chain of events. In LA don't get mad, they get even. So, you want a real Pac story? That's my Pac story. Pac would be alive today if he had stayed allies with Snoop and not crossed Snoop.
The case takes a bizarre turn with a former officer claiming Tupac was actually an industry plant, placed by powerful figures to broker peace between the Bloods and Crips.
I say a week before he died, we was best of friends. 2 days before he died, I don't think he liked me.
Why?
Because we was in New York, and it happened. New York, they shot at me and did all kind of shit to me, like just the worst you could think of. And I forgave him. And went and did an interview and was asked, how do I feel about Puffy and Biggie? And I was like, I want to do some music with him. And that just rubbed Cuz the wrong way, like trying to kill me, out at you, and you talking about you want to do a song with him. I wasn't thinking about his emotions. I was thinking about the way I felt at the time. I wasn't into no controversy. I liked his music. They was our friends. We was all friends at one point. This video footage of all of us hanging out.
If Pac was planted to fix street violence, conspiracy theorists believe handlers pulled him out of the hospital to protect their investment. This connects to a shocking statement by Pac's close friend Trey, who claimed on camera that he saw Tupac alive in Cuba years after his death.
Well, it turns out when I talked to Tupac's longtime mentor, political mentor, former Black Panther Chokwe Lumumba, who was his first business manager, he's told me, you know, I basically asked, well, was Tupac only pretending to be in order to appeal to gangs and politicize them? And he said yes. And that was part of his thug life agenda that he came up with his imprisoned stepfather, Matulu Shakur. And so Tupac was just using that in order to get the and the leaders to call peace truces, first in Los Angeles, then throughout California, and then throughout the country. And that was why he was pretending to be this type. And really, he was just an intellectual prodigy.
Even Suge Knight maintained that Tupac was recovering inside the hospital after the shooting, claiming they were laughing and joking together in his room.
Look, zoom in. That's Pac, man. He with the outlaw. And Reg from Holla Back is trying to be friendly and get autographs. Holla Back exclusive, baby. Holla Back.
While medical records state Tupac was in a medically induced coma, making laughter impossible, Suge stubbornly repeated this exact same story in interviews decades apart.
I mean, when I left that hospital, me and Pac was laughing and joking. So I don't see how somebody can turn from doing well to doing bad.
So you seriously think that he might still be alive?
I would say this, Pac, you never know.
But it said that Tupac was in a deep sleep in the hospital, so them laughing together shouldn't have been possible. But in another interview years apart, Suge claims the exact same story.
So he was conscious on the way to the hospital?
He was conscious on the way to the hospital. He was conscious in the ambulance. He was conscious after they did the surgery.
What was the last thing that he said to you?
They left.
Just weeks after making those claims, Suge was targeted in a nightclub shooting, an attack he believed was payback for hinting Pac survived. Suge went silent, but his son, Suge Jr., took over the conspiracy, posting photos of Pac with modern stars like 50 Cent and Beyonce. After posting cryptic messages like, "You said too much. Time for you to go," Suge Jr. panicked, posting, "He never left us. They'll be after me soon." Was it a desperate clout chase? Or do the Knights hold the darkest secrets in hip-hop history? Tweeted by Suge Knight Jr. "He never left us. They'll be after me soon. Tupac is alive."